Then. All right. We're live.
You know, if you're from the South, it's not how hard you hire you.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm well. I had an old friend that used to say, "What you doing?"
Is it all one word?
Yeah, what you doing?
What you doing?
Alabama boy.
Okay, I've got to trade chairs. Funny how we all.
You go right ahead. I feel,
Yeah.
feels good, doesn't
Being
it?
E to C M.
Debbie did.
What did I do?
Broke me out the other day.
That was me.
No, sir, that was Jennifer.
I was so hot. It was like, oh my goodness. You will not.
You like an oven?
I did. You don't have to worry about that with me. I park over a space heater in the office. And I have heated seats in my truck that stay on all year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I keep the heated seats on in my car.
All right, what we gonna do today?
It's pretty quick today. It's just a
Good.
bunch of signatures.
Cheers. I got those in here.
May, in order to bill for ballot, have to put in,
We put in the districts.
yeah, but I may have to put in,
Put in
like, just how
a
many
name
precincts
plate.
we've got, just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know,
Yeah.
and then go back in and I can place it.
You put the precincts in however you want to put them in. Two.
And a half, because, I mean, I can put it in there however I want to. I don't even have to put in any other designation.
So, when you're gonna start building your ballot, you know how Fayetteville has to be set up where you have Fayetteville zones, and then you have a Fayetteville, hello, and then you have like the Fayetteville at large for the for the millage. You're gonna have to do that for every district now.
Yeah. I'll be,
Okay.
how we doing?
We're good.
Where?
The crew from Marion County left.
Oh,
just a
how
little
was
bit ago.
that?
We have always been blessed to, when we have replaced an election commissioner, to still have 2 commissioners
Right,
who
right,
have sat on the commission.
yeah.
They have 3 brand-new commissioners, a brand-new coordinator from the clerk's office.
Wow.
So for them, it is
Do they have
It's a
anybody,
lot.
any of the old commissioners who are still available?
I don't know, the one young man whose mom did it,
Right.
I think she is.
What's his name?
Jack, no, J, it starts with a J.
Yeah.
I think she is, but their bigger problem, I think, is their coordinator in their clerk's office.
Oh,
Because that's the person that keeps the commission
right.
on track.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, with everything, and so with her being brand new, that, she's got a lot on her plate
Right.
with a whole brand new
Oh,
commission
my goodness.
too, so yeah.
Wow. Well, their learning curve is just gonna have to go straight up.
So, it's not only the like, I just was overwhelmed at all the stuff they're going to have to learn. So, they also have not been trained on how to do election night reporting, so like Debbie's job,
Ooh.
putting that in. They also have never trained on the portal, which, since we do our own,
Right.
we've not ever done the portal, but for most counties, that's how they put the information in to build
Right.
the ballot,
Yeah.
or to do the poll book side of it. So,
Wow.
there's not just the commission side of it, but then the inner working side of it too, that
Wow.
they're still waiting to be trained on.
Yeah.
They haven't,
Is the SBEC gonna do that
it's
for them?
ES&S. And
Oh, it's
that's-
ES&S.
And that's part of the problem, is ES&S still has to go and update their express code.
Mhm.
So they still have to, so then they have to go in and give them the training on the computer because it's different.
Right.
So, yeah.
They need to have somebody on site to help them out.
And it's not just their county.
Oh, yeah.
It's across the state. I think that ES&S has not gotten to all the counties to
Dropped the ball.
do all the
Yeah.
software updates and all the election night reporting updates.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
In some ways, those 3 elections were really tough, but
Yeah.
we have everything we need
Right.
for the primary.
Right.
And are not having to wait because they didn't have a choice but to come in and make sure all of our stuff was done.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's, you've got to have the training to use the equipment properly. I mean, I feel like SBEC needs to dog ES&S to get this done and, you know, provide, isn't that part of the contract that we have?
Mhm.
I feel for these people.
I do too. I just, and even, you know, when they talk, they have like 9 polling locations and
Oh.
9,000 registered voters, and I'm like, oh my God. But if you don't know how to set
Right.
things up, and you don't know, it doesn't matter
It's
if
huge.
it's 9 or 100.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah.
That's
So-
crazy. Crazy small, but you know, I think in a sense, they're lucky that it is crazy small, because it's still gonna be
Mhm. It's a
a
lot.
major wall to get over.
Yeah. Now, their chairman has a tech background.
Oh.
So for him, the tech side of it and learning that and
Oh,
everything,
that's good.
he's like, I'm not dreading that. He
Yeah.
said, I just want the training.
Right. But you
Yeah.
want to make sure that the election comes off without all kinds of problems that could easily have been resolved with proper training and, you know, with an understanding of the equipment and what is possible with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh, that's wrong. That's just,
How did they, I mean, I know it's done now, but how did they end up losing all 3? Any idea?
I don't know.
What do you call a person in the?
Their coordinator, the clerk election coordinator, I am not sure how it.
have they
ended
had,
up.
upheaval in that county?
I don't know. I don't know, or if they just were like after the primary, or after the general in 2020, they were
people
like,
were going, I'm done.
not gonna do this again. And then I think with a smaller county, you also run into fewer people
That's right.
in the political parties who are like willing to say, okay,
Yep.
I'm willing to step up and do it. And in the smaller counties too, the commission has to do a lot of the work.
Yes.
And this was what I asked him, because I said, I don't know, but, like, our commission gets paid for coming to a meeting.
Mhm.
But if you were to actually come and work, like, if you had to come and do L&A for
Right.
a day,
Right.
how do you pay the commission for that?
That's what I was thinking, it's not, it would have to be handled, under a special county rule or something.
Oh, you think it'd be a county rule?
I don't know, county rule or
Oh, I mean,
state rule.
Could the commission say, we're gonna do this and do it?
They can, but they
Well, I was
still
thinking
should be
county
reimbursed.
Might be able to, I'm sorry.
Well, we're not under the county judge. We are completely independent.
Yeah,
So anything that is done in our,
but we still spend under the county budget because.
they have to approve it, but they are obligated to fund elections.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And we're obligated, hey, we're obligated to conduct elections.
Yes.
But,
I understand that, you know, functionally, operationally.
Right.
We're not under the county judge.
Yeah.
But funding wise, we are. I mean, they have to approve, they spend the money.
they do have to approve it. That's probably my biggest rub, is that, that creates a tension there that, I don't know, is not appropriate for an independent.
You're not talking about standing at attention, you're talking about a tension.
Yes, a tension, T-E-N-S-I-O-N, yeah. Because, I mean, yes, they have to fund us, but I think that, I would say it another way, they have to fund us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's,
and there's that bill passed last session, right?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
specifically
yeah.
states certain things that have to be funded by
Yeah.
law. I think there's a real good argument, they've gotta fund a lot more than that, too.
yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
They've gotta fund elections.
Yeah, well, and that's what we were talking about is,
We're talking about like Marion County, a whole brand new,
commission,
Oh, everybody is?
coordinator.
There's a coordinator in there.
They were here this morning and
First
visited
office.
with Jennifer.
All
Got it.
new, and they have to do, because they're such a small county, they actually have to do more than we
Yeah.
have to do, and, you know.
Jennifer suggested, how would we be
Yeah.
paid? I came in one time and did,
Oh, yeah, good question.
what,
Yeah, that's where we got into the question.
it was absentee.
Really good question.
Ballot.
Yeah, really good question.
That was when Lynn was here, I remember doing that in the front office maybe.
Yeah.
And, I don't know that I was paid for that, it was a good learning
Mhm.
experience for me. But yeah, if you were required to do that on a regular basis as a commissioner, you ought to be paid for it.
Yeah, and that was one of the conversations they were gonna have to have with their county to be funded, because
Gotcha.
it's not the same as having a meeting. Like, if they're
Mhm.
working
No.
8 hours,
No.
Yeah,
they should be compensated for working
That's right.
8 hours
Sure.
to do
Yeah.
the election commission work.
that's right.
Definitely. Yeah, so that was Marion County.
Mm-hmm.
They only have 9,000 voters though,
Yeah.
and 9 polling locations.
Yeah.
So they're in a different
Sure.
field than we
Yes,
are.
sir, yes,
But
sir.
still, they're
But
behind the 8 ball.
That doesn't reduce the number of procedures it takes to run.
No,
a
no.
polling place, and
No.
Oh, no. To know what all the laws are and how we operate
Oh, yeah.
and everything, it's a big ask
Yeah.
for,
Yeah, it's huge,
for a brand new commission
You know.
and coordinator.
yeah.
it'd be like us losing her.
Oh, I know.
Oh, gosh.
We would be in a world of hurt. I mean, I'll say it, of course we would.
We would be.
Huge
It would be
world effort.
awful.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we're not even gonna broach that as a suggestion or any kind of a topic.
Yes, Madam Chairman.
Is Debbie coming back?
We ordered food like 40 minutes ago.
Oh, no
So somewhere
kidding.
it's coming, so you can go ahead and
We'll make
count
it
Okay.
it out.
Almost an hour ago now.
Oh, my goodness.
So they're not freaky fast.
Who
They must
in the
just
world,
say-
who in the world do you want to give the publicity to?
Yeah,
'Cause we are already on.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. Have y'all looked over the, minutes?
Did, don't see anything. Error.
Okay. All right, well, let's, accept them as presented, no corrections, and we'll move on to provisional ballot hearing for the last election.
For the 5 who we will not count, they were all sent letters, letting them know that the hearing was today at 1 o'clock.
Right.
And I haven't heard back from
Any of them?
any of them, so.
Okay, so we need to, certify, and these are the documents to do so.
Yes. The first one is just a certificate of the document for the State Senate District 7 general election, and there's 3 copies there for the commission
Oh,
to
okay.
sign. So we can file, keep, and send one.
Just the top page?
Yes, I go ahead and attach the actual results to it as well.
Now, so I presume that Mr. Fulfer has been, sworn in today, or?
I don't know, I mean, I just, like 30 minutes ago before the meeting, uploaded that final certification to
Oh,
the state website.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they can use that, or if I need to, I will scan this and send it to Josh as soon
Okay.
as the meeting's over, and then let them figure out what it is that they're doing from there, so.
Okay. Here you are, sir.
And then the next set is for the city of Fayetteville.
Okay.
There's a separate document in there too that is specific to the candidate.
That you're gonna send to him?
Yeah, it requires your signature, and
Okay.
I'll send that over to the city clerk as well.
Okay.
It has all that extra stuff at the bottom of it, because
Mhm.
it's from the general election, but it's a standard form from the state.
Gotcha.
But the city will only use the portion they need.
Okay.
It does look a little strange for this small election.
Well, yeah. But that's all right, we can handle it. Okay, we've got
There's
3
of
copies
those
of
as
this
well,
one
just
too,
so that-
okay. And these are identical, so
Mhm. They're all.
they're not in any order.
No.
Good thing.
And then the third folder you have is the state certification document. This is auto-generated, from the report that I
Oh,
sent
okay.
to, Little Rock.
Okay. In miniature type.
It is.
Is there a button that I can increase it with?
I don't even think that report is really readable.
Yeah,
In my mind, it's,
Submitted electronically as well?
yeah,
Yeah, okay, well, that's the one they
yeah.
use, yeah.
well, you'll probably be hearing from the Marion County people again on a regular basis, don't you expect?
Yeah, especially because they hadn't even done the election night reporting training. And so I didn't even really touch on that, because
Yeah.
if they've not actually opened up the computer and done any of that, I felt like I'm just overloading them.
That's the next step,
Yeah.
whenever that happens.
Yeah, so they have a lot.
Oh, no. So they were here just to kind of get off the books training from you, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Please, I mean, they talked to us at the regional meeting the other day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really regional, it was training.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the young fella whose mother used to be involved in it, and she's gone now, but he's taken over for her. He said, oh, please, we're in very bad state. And so I connected him with Jennifer, and I said, you all need to get together.
Oh,
That was
good.
the fellow sitting right behind us, wasn't it?
Yes, and he was good, because he was asking lots of questions.
They should have come on election day and just shadowed.
Oh, yeah,
That would've been
that's
helpful.
Yeah,
true.
that would've been
Yeah.
good.
I mean, who knows, maybe we'll have another, I mean, they've got the primary
They've got the
next.
primary to get through, so.
What a time, huh?
Yeah, what a time.
So the next report is just that provisional ballot report that we'll start doing in-house that lists the names of everyone that voted a provisional or, their absentee ballot was rejected.
Okay.
Under those circumstances, with all new folks, does ES&S or the state have the resources or ever provide a person on the ground the whole day for the first election?
I don't think so.
That's too bad.
They said they would do that the first time we, ran the new machines, right? And they had, well, actually, wasn't that, didn't they have, what was his name, the guy who worked for us for a while?
Hunter.
Hunter,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
And
That's what I was
so
thinking.
he was able to, but, you know, I would think they better have somebody at least on the phone.
They will, and so like the Secretary of State's office has coordinators divided amongst the county.
Oh,
So that coordinator will be in constant contact with Marion County, I would assume, or with any new county
Yeah.
for everything. So, and, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have done that, sorry. Okay, now we've got ballot disposition.
Yeah, that's the last one. That's the new form required, by the SBEC.
And, as a matter of course, these all require, being filed when we certify.
So this one is strange.
Oh.
This one, you do not have to complete until, I think it's either 15 or 20 days after the certification, which in my mind is too late, because if
Yeah.
you found a discrepancy,
Sure.
you've already certified the election.
Oh, good point,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know why you would wait. So
Yeah.
for me, this is just now part of certification, because this is gonna tell me, do I have a discrepancy?
Right.
Yeah.
And if I do, what is it? And I need to figure it out before we certify the election.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because at that point, your only means is legal recourse. And I
Oh,
forget
yeah.
the timing of it. There's some, 30 days?
30 days?
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if this doesn't have to be filed, done until 15 or 20 days afterwards, you gotta,
No
that's
big
pretty
deal.
quick to file a lawsuit to challenge it.
Goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, the timing
Was
all.
that in the law? That was part of that law, wasn't it?
It was, and it all, you know, a lot of it generated out of Pulaski County and
Oh, yeah,
accounting,
right.
and how many provisional ballots did they have, and how many rejected absentees, and no one county was keeping track of it in the same way.
Mhm.
So they're like, well, this will make every
Standardize
county keep track of it in exactly the same way and submit their reports to the SBEC, which I think is a
Fine.
valid thing.
Mhm.
But what they fail to see is that submitting it after certification, what
Yeah.
good does it do
Yeah,
if
yeah.
your numbers end up not matching?
Yeah, I mean, this is a report you want to generate, on the day that, after you, the day or two after
Yeah.
you've counted.
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's when you want to compare the numbers.
Mhm.
Are you signing this?
I
or-
can, since I
okay.
prepared it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you would want that before a recount, you ask for a recount, which
Yeah,
expires
that's
really
true,
quickly.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
good point.
2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
so,
Mhm.
Have a look at that.
Sure.
Okay, these go to the party chairs.
then these are the letters that were required. I will just scan and email, I think that's an
Good.
acceptable way
Yeah.
to send it rather than by the mail. But I'll scan and email these to each of the party chairs,
Okay.
Thank you.
today. And then we'll have prepared, since filing starts
Next week.
Tuesday, we'll have prepared for each of the parties. I think typically what they do is the Democrats have been downstairs and the Republicans.
Oh,
in the
that's right, in the
courtroom,
courtroom.
And they come in,
Do I sign this?
It's me.
You. That's
Yeah.
okay.
and then I'll have a notice for the ballot draw so that they can see, but we have time to actually notify candidates
Right.
by letter, email, for our ballot draw for this one, and I'll do that.
How is the precinct stuff going? Are they gonna have that?
No.
I said that hesitantly.
I hope that we will have that soon. Jeff sent us over a program, or Christine did, sent us over a program that has laid all of the new
Oh,
district
yeah.
maps
Mhm.
over our current precincts. And so we have tag teamed an effort. Debbie has been pulling up the precinct and making a screenshot of it for me, and then I've gone through on the program to see where all the splits are, and then writing down what the new House, JP, Senate, school district is within the old precincts and where
gotcha,
the
yeah.
splits are. Becky independently has been going through her side of it, going through the school districts and finding the splits and the precincts and starting to pull the street files over and everything. And then she's taking what I'm giving her and confirming that that's right and figuring out where we need to create a brand-new precinct. And so we're going through that whole process.
Mhm.
And it's just,
There she is.
we just got the program from Northwest Regional Monday, maybe, that program from Northwest Regional, Monday evening. Yeah, it was Monday evening we got it.
Uh-huh.
So I've been working, we've just had it this week to work. I should finish all the precincts this weekend so that Becky will have them, and I think she's working Monday, and I may work Monday too, so we'll have them, because it's a holiday. And then hopefully.
Monday's Thursday? Oh,
President's
President's Day.
Yeah, and so hopefully soon, we will have more information.
Okay.
So, but I also, went ahead and talked to the assessor's office to
Yeah.
see as well, like, what kind of assistance can they help us with?
Yeah.
And so they're ready to help us as well. So yeah, so we're getting there.
Doesn't hurt to have several eyes on everything because, you know, this is an intense,
Mhm.
I speak from great knowledge. But I can imagine it from having,
Sure.
It's
Compressed timeframe.
It's
Yeah.
a compressed timeframe,
Yeah.
but there are so many changes, and there's so many new little bitty splits.
yeah.
Becky created a precinct yesterday for one registered voter.
That sucks.
Is there any way that can be avoided? No.
Only if they had used a program or something.
Something,
at the
what-
state level to
Yeah.
draw it.
When I'm looking at, when I get in those maps, there are places where like the House and Senate lines will like run like this.
Uh-huh.
But
Why?
instead of being up against one another, and so you have these tiny little slivers,
Oh.
and when you drill down into it, you're like, please no houses, please no houses, please no houses.
Oh.
And when you drill down into it, you'll see one or
One,
two little
yeah.
houses. And then
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's possible you could have to create a precinct later. What if somebody built in one of those locations?
well, we do, we have Tawny Town City 5, which has no registered voters in it, is now split.
Oh, my
This week,
goodness.
I think it's 2 House districts, isn't it? Yes.
Both with no registered voters.
Well, and growth may change that.
It might.
Sure.
It might, so yes, so that's, as we get into
That's
this,
pretty good.
I honestly, so from our point of view, we've only dealt with precincts in the abstract of like,
Yeah.
Becky gives us a list, and here are the precincts, and here's the district relationships, and then we're looking at a big map of this is our polling location.
Yeah.
I've never drilled down into like how the
Mhm.
individual precincts looked until this.
Oh, wow.
And we are just
Overwhelmed?
overwhelmed and just amazed at the shapes. And some don't even touch, like, you will have is it center, that's like 3 separate little dots kind of
I've
thing?
come across quite a
One
few of those.
precinct?
Yeah, but
That's
they
not
don't
contiguous?
touch. No.
How does that work?
That's crazy.
It's not a requirement for a precinct, it is for districts. It is for JPs because it'll be, because what it is, you'll have like a city of Fayetteville will be like right up above it, or the city of Fayetteville, and there'll just be these tiny little pockets that the city has come down to take. And, or the city over here has come down to take, or a school district has taken. And so instead of kind of doing like 3 individual little precincts, they said, all 3 of these little squares in this little area all have the same voting information, so that'll be a precinct.
That's interesting.
That's
I would have
very
thought they would be completely contiguous.
Yeah, me too.
But,
I would think so.
I mean, that's almost schizophrenic.
Oh, so much.
It doesn't make any sense. You would think it was an error.
Yeah,
If you
exactly,
encountered it.
exactly.
You do,
I
and
mean-
that's when I'm like double checking it, and I'm like,
So it's gonna be worse than it was the last 10 years, is what you're saying.
That's really unfortunate.
that's my
We
fear.
were
Oh,
told
my
by certain
goodness.
people that they were in charge of this, that they were gonna do better.
Well,
So, yeah.
I don't
Does that
get it.
tell us anything?
Yeah, it does.
So.
Well, I mean, I think what that says, though, is that this process, and you've certainly learned this, is so much more intricate than what 98% of the people in the county would even expect.
Oh, yeah, probably 99% of the
Yeah,
people in the
99
county
and a
would
half
expect.
maybe.
I mean,
And
I agree.
you don't think about it, obviously, until it comes up on your plate.
Yeah, I had never thought about the shapes of the precincts. Like, I always
Yeah.
knew the relationships of the precincts and the relationships to the districts and the polling locations and to all of that, but actual looking at the
Yeah.
shapes,
Yeah.
precinct by precinct, I'm just like, you couldn't put if you were given all of these pieces as puzzle pieces and asked to build the Washington County map, you wouldn't be able to.
Wow. Okay, so,
That's pretty good.
so speaking of that one precinct with one voter in it, is there a way that can be combined with one of these other
I
non-contiguous?
don't think so. We're gonna look. Those will be
Yeah.
the things we go back to
Yeah.
look at to see, but right now, there was a House line here and a JP line here, but a
Oh.
different school district
Oh.
here and a different school district here. Because
All
now
of
the
them
school
came into
districts
play.
have gone to zones.
Oh, yeah.
That's the-
everywhere.
That's another part of
Yeah.
the problem as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Wow. So you're working this weekend,
so we,
all day and all night?
no, no. But my goal is to have it all to Becky, so that
Yeah.
Becky will have it. And then, once we get all of that done and Becky says, okay, these are the new precincts, then we'll need to get the new shape files. Then we'll load all of that into Data Scout, because it already has all the JP lines, school district lines, and all of that. And we're able to then actually print out reports from Data Scout that show the houses that have been put in the wrong districts and the wrong precincts.
Does it flag those somehow?
And it does, it
Okay.
actually
Cool.
prints out an Excel list,
Wow.
and it says, these houses show that you've got them in JP District 9,
Mhm.
but when it looks at the maps, it shows that they should be in JP District 6. And it's in those little areas of the slivers,
Right.
like
Yeah.
where, like, I'm just eyeballing the map, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's nothing in there.
Mhm.
And so I don't catch it, or it's too small of a sliver and I
Right,
don't catch
right.
it.
Mhm.
And so, or it's in the zigzags
Mm.
where you don't catch, because
Mhm.
there are like hardly any straight lines. So it's in the zigzag or something along those lines, so yeah, so it should
Don't let
flag.
people think about precincts, because it sounds like it's beyond most people's comprehension.
It is, it's just, it is overwhelming, and I know that for Becky,
Yeah.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
because we're just we're just looking at the map, and I'm just
Right.
pulling it up, but then she has to go and say, well, these streets
Right.
are in this area, and these streets are in this area, and then what do you do when a street is split?
Right.
And then she had a house the other day that was split between, a line.
Oh,
So
no.
like, what do you do with the house?
Right. Isn't there some law that rules that? It was like,
The entry door.
yeah, it's
something,
the
yeah.
entry door,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
We always come in our garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the kind of confusion you might get. Okay, what do we have next? Train the trainer, we need to sign this form.
yes, and then those get submitted to the SBEC,
Okay.
and that's for our training on March the 3rd.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And this is just in duplicate.
There's two of us that we're able to seek reimbursement from.
Oh, yeah.
But then this lets two other people go and attend, but since we're hosting,
Right.
we'll end up having 5 of us there,
Good.
so.
Is he gonna find time for this?
She should, she'll fit that in, so, yeah.
I mean, she said she's not gonna be around for a while, so.
Yeah, so she hasn't been, she probably won't come back in until we get ballot proofs,
Oh, uh-huh,
and she'll start helping us proof.
okay. All right. Not rushing you.
No.
Upcoming meetings, March the 11th. Wow, we've got almost a month
Yeah.
before we have to meet again, right?
And if we thought we wanted, if I find out, like, new information, like, I get clarification on polling locations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
And I think these are good, I'll call, and we
Okay.
can maybe
Yeah.
set up another meeting and just knock that out.
We
and
need to
have
get that
done.
nailed.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you do get that, clarification, then that will certainly help us get ahead of the
Yeah.
curve.
Yeah.
Okay, I have not, I talked with Robin Lundstrom about her, hangar on 265.
Voting,
Yeah, for early voting, and, she's talking to Tom, and so, you know, it's like you and I talked about, there could be problems, the perception problem, and
Sure.
we would
Yeah.
need to, I don't know, be very cautious about that, but it's not that far down from the rodeo grounds, which makes it ideal.
Great location.
It's huge.
Across from, NTI.
Yes. So it,
what about parking?
the parking, there's parking, that could be a problem, unless people drove behind. And, you know, I don't know what she's using it for nowadays. There have been planes in the past, inside the hangar, she's had people rent it and so forth. So, that would have to be worked out, but, I mean, you may not like that.
Well, I don't know, we'd want somewhere, wherever it is, that long-term, you're gonna be able to
Yes,
use it.
yeah,
If,
yeah.
I mean, if I get it, of course, if I own something like that, you're gonna wanna be using it at times, and
Right.
rent it out, and
Right.
not just keeping it vacant all the
Well, I
time
mean,
for,
she doesn't,
election.
there's plenty of space just for cordoning off for an election. But, I mean, they may not be comfortable with it either.
Yeah,
It's just something they're gonna have to talk about, but I wanted to mention that.
sure, I think it's good, I appreciate you looking, I mean, it'd be a cool location in theory, I think the preference is to keep one of the existing locations, I mean, Civic Center.
If we
can
could
get
do the
some
limited early
vote,
voting, yeah.
You hate to change it too much, you know?
Yeah.
The voting location.
Right,
65, but it's good to explore options if
Yeah, I just was
we need
thinking,
something
given
over
it,
there, you know?
given
So,
what seems like they're reluctant,
Yeah.
that's, we need a backup plan. There may be, I don't know, there may be some other hangars over there that people
yeah,
would,
there may be.
consider, I don't know. But,
It's good to have backup options,
Yeah,
appreciate you
yeah.
looking into it.
In that same vein, I reached out to, Pam Morgan at,
Oh, yeah.
St. Thomas
Uh-huh.
Episcopal Church. And she's checking on whether or not they would, be, interested in doing
Yeah.
something like that. Supposed to get back with me,
Okay.
so,
That would, I was trying to figure that out because it is close to Nazarene, but it is just off the 49 exit, and you move up 48th. Isn't Nazarene on 40th?
40th and Chapman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much more visible.
Yes.
Like as an early vote site, it
Mhm.
would be a great early vote site because
Right.
it's visible from the bypass.
Yes.
So, and I think voters in that area would find it really easy.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so.
And it's just right across from the ballpark.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So as an early vote location, it would be a really good location for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we'll nail those down maybe
Yeah.
first part of March. Other business.
We all need to file with our
Yes,
local
we do.
parties.
Uh-huh.
When is that again? What was the date?
22nd
Tuesday.
through the 1st.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The
So-
parties are there the whole time?
Yes.
No,
Yes,
well,
I
I
always
think
feel like
I
it's
need to
real
check.
limited.
It is. I've noticed in the past, like, the Democratic Party will say they're going to be here Monday or Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 until noon, and then Wednesday and
Oh,
they are not here all the time.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I think the Republican Party, I think, may have had
I-
someone here the whole
yeah,
time.
I think they generally have,
But
haven't
Yeah.
the
they?
Democratic Party, I think they had kind of like set hours of
Yeah.
when
Yeah, I
they had
think-
someone here.
That's why I was
Right.
thinking
Yeah.
that then.
Well, if you, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say, if you do it by noon on the final day, which is March the 1st, I mean, that's the day that everybody's thronging.
Yeah.
So, you know, you
do it
could-
beforehand, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's a good tip.
But they'll be, they should be manned that day, I would think.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
a
the
good
other
tip.
hours, they set their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hit or misses,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the
So,
reminder.
Okay,
Put it on
I'm
calendar.
glad you did mention that. One more thing, and I'll put this in other business,
Okay.
is, the test.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer has the answers to the test. But we're under a constraint that we cannot let the other parts of the state be privy to the answers.
For commissioners who hadn't taken the test yet?
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna deal with that, but we need to get some clarity on what the right answers were and understand for our own benefit that, this is the right answer, this is the wrong answer, this is why it's the wrong answer.
now, by March 11th, I think they should have finished all the commissioners' training.
Oh, really?
I'll
go.
check with
Okay.
that. So as
Hey,
soon
there
as
you
that's finished,
We'll do it.
or I can print out the test with the answers and then just give it to the commission and we not discuss it publicly yet until we know for sure.
Yeah.
How do we all do?
You guys all did good. So,
Oh,
yeah,
you did get results then,
We
huh?
don't have,
It's
you
funny,
will
they
get
report the
results.
results to you, and
Yeah.
you've got the, you
Yeah.
know, it's a funny thing, it's,
They didn't give me everybody's results.
Not
They
that I
just
care,
said
but-
that my
yeah.
commission overall did very well.
Okay.
And so they didn't see any issues there, but he did give me the answers, but he also asked me to please keep them to myself
Yeah.
until I knew that the other commissioners and the rest of the state had finished.
Well, I
As
just,
long as I didn't make an F, I don't care.
He did not, nobody made an F, he said everybody missed less than 5, so I don't know what
oh,
that.
good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, it was 40 questions, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that is, a test is only as good as showing you your blind spots. But if you don't know what your blind spots are, or if the test questions have been formulated in such a way that they're not clear, and that maybe is some of the reason you got one wrong or whatever, then we need to understand that and be able to.
Well, I think we're gonna understand it after March the 11th, that'd be fine.
Yeah, well, we'll go ahead and do that, confirm with them.
I will.
If March 11th is a good date, let's do it, because I don't want this to get too far away from having taken the test, because I've already forgotten all the questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Wonder if they'll actually fail anyone and make anyone retake it. I mean, do you think
They
they really?
They did say
They
that.
threatened it, will they
Yeah,
really do that?
they did say if you did
Just-
poorly
I'm
enough on it.
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know that as a trainer, if we fail the test, we can't train poll
Oh,
workers.
yeah.
That makes sense, because
Yeah, right.
you wouldn't want someone training poll workers that couldn't pass
Right.
the test.
Sure.
But at the
Um,
same time, Daniel, Chris, John were not as sharp on their stuff as they should have been.
There was a lot of back and
Yes.
forth amongst them about the answers.
Which
Or
had
the-
to confuse people in the
Yeah.
audience.
Between the trainer and the lawyer, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
there
I'm-
you
oh,
go.
I'm sorry.
Ah!
Oh, no offense taken, that's between two lawyers, and that's how you get there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're both attorneys,
Yeah, you
Daniel's an
just
attorney.
talk
as well.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Well, yeah, and they
Making
just
arguments and, yeah.
carry on this conversation, and one of them says, well, this is the way I think it should be, and the other one says, I have a different opinion. Well, are we getting down to opinions now?
Yeah.
All right, well, other business?
Nope.
All right, well, then we are adjourned.
Okay.
Wait.
Thank you all.
All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a good weekend.
Shall we